that source.
That source. Am I right?
Yes, perfect. So the thing is, they are saying that in the deep sleep, we are in perfect beingness. Somebody has translated it like that. Waking state, waking, dream and being. Very beautiful translation. Waking, dreaming and being. So it is mere beingness, existence. So that state there is no body, that state there is no mind, that state there is no ego. And all again you get connected with the limitation by the arising of the I thought. So again taking the I thought back to the same spot, as he very beautifully expressed the Sutratma. That Sutratma. Sutra means thread. Thread. Catching hold of the thread. Somehow Paul Brenton caught hold of many of these mystical words. We don't know whether Bhagavan used them, but Bhagavan should have used, otherwise from where will he get it? So he writes in Bhagavan's teaching, Bhagavan speaking about catching out of the thread of the I thought and going to the source. So the thread of the I thought, it is very, very strange that Bhagavan uses the same words what the Shastras use. The Sutratma. So the Sutra, catching hold of the Sutra, the inner thread of I, the I thought, you take a dip consciously into the same heart center. Chandogya Upanishad says in deep sleep, every day the mind returns to the heart center. But you are pulled back by the force of prarabdha. Ramana Bhagavan says, to one question he says, a person cannot remain in Nirvikalpa Samadhi as long as he has tremendous, too much prarabdha. His ego will be pulled out. This is the word which Bhagavan uses. It will be pulled out. So it is not that easy that the person will stay there for a longer period. It will come back to again experience the suffering. But what happens with a Tattvajna, he remembers that state constantly while alive. While again back in the plane of the waking state, tad buddhayas tadatmanaha tannishtaha tadparayanaha, as Gita says. The buddhi goes there, the mind goes there, identity also goes there. Again and again he identifies with the infinite, he meditates on that infinite, he listens and analyzes and thinks and he feels the infinite constantly while in the waking state. So this he goes on doing while alive, so that he can have the joy of Jivan Mukti. Otherwise, everyone is liberated in their real nature. And Videha Mukti they call, bodiless liberation. Every day deep sleep is telling we are all Videha. There is no Deha in ourself, in Atma. So, the Who Am I book itself, Bhagavan starts it with like that. Every day we are experiencing it in the deep sleep. To experience it in the waking state, you have to do Atma Vichara, self-inquiry. Shrotavyaha, mantavyaha, nididhyasitavyaha. Again and again, listen to the Atma Vidya, meditate on it, and let the mind register it, the buddhi register it, and ignorant vyavahara become less and less and less, so that you can express the realization more and more in vyavahara. That is what Bhagavan was doing. A Jivan Mukta is doing, expressing the highest, the infinite in the limited plane. And you have the samadhi while awake, something like deep sleep. That's samprasada. Upanishad calls the deep sleep as samprasada. You have the samprasannavastha here. Bahye niruddhe manasah prasannata. Shankaracharya says more and more you stop the outer world from entering inside. The mind becomes more and more placid, more pleasant. Manah prasade paramatma darshanam. When the mind becomes very pleasant, the experience of the self is very clear. Tasmin sudrishte bhavabandhanashaha. When you have seen it very clearly, bondage is no more. Liberation is your very nature. All bondage is cut asunder. Tasmin vishuddhe bhavabandhanashaha bahirnirodhah padavi vimukte. So, the path to liberation is to close the outer world first and to stay with the inner lamp very well lit, luminous. Shashwat antareva prakashate. Antarjot. Kudathul Deepam Kulavad, as Muruganar says, like the flame inside a pot. அதனால் அதனை நினைத்தும் அதனை உரைத்தும் அப்படிங்கிற speaking about it, thinking about it, contemplating on it, and no time for the mind to think about anything else. That kind of yajna, you go on doing that yajna.